Hey, Psalms chapter 95 is incredible gut level stuff about worship. It starts really loud and it ends really tender, at least the part that we're going to read today. And I like it because it's kind of a gut check about what worship is and what it isn't and how we should be expressing ourselves to God and what we should be saying to Him. Okay, check this out. I'm going to read just the first 7 verses to you. It says this: "Come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us shout joyfully to the rock of our salvation. Let us come to Him with thanksgiving. Let us sing psalms of praise to Him. For the Lord is a great God, a great King above all gods. He holds in His hands the depths of the earth and the mightiest mountains. The sea belongs to Him, for He made it. His hands formed the dry land too. Come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for He is our God. We are the people He watches over, the flock under His care." I love this because it tells us to praise. It tells us to worship God. Then it tells us, here's why we should worship God: because He is great. He is almighty. He is the King of all things. He is the maker and maintainer of everything. And He did it all because He loves us. He did it all because we're His people. We are His flock. We are His sheep. And I love this verse. And a lot of times we read things like this that tell us, let us shout joyfully to the Lord. And it can be kind of a point of like condemnation for a lot of people. If your personality isn't one that's loud and out there, a lot of times we read something like that and we think, wow, I guess I should change. I guess I should change my personality. But I think what it's talking about is more substance than style. Okay, God wants us to live with the soul shout, no matter what our personality is. There are some people that will never get loud. There are some people that will never get in front of people, and they'll never just express themselves boldly in public. And that's okay, because that's who God made you to be. But the important thing is that in your gut, you are screaming out with a soul shout, that your actions and your heart and everything's in line, and your character is strong, and that's what really matters about worship. We can't turn worship into performance art. It's got to be an honest expression, and a lot of people have done that. A lot of people have taken worship and made it into a performance, made it into performance art, and do it for people, do it for the people around them, rather than doing it for the God that it should be all directed towards. It's a thing that it needs to be real. It's got to be honest, and it's got to be from the gut as well as from the heart. Okay, and so that's what worship is all about. So if you're a quiet person, don't feel condemned. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel like, wow. Okay, God tells us that our worship should be joyful, and it should be thankful, and we should be humble, and we should come to Him and realize that everything we have is because of Him. Now, we can do that with who we are. We can get real. We don't have to feel like, man, I'm not as loud as so-and-so. I guess I need to shout or blow one of those big horn things. Or whatever the case may be, just be yourself for Himself. Give Him all the glory. Don't turn worship into performance art. Let it be an honest expression of your heart and who you are. And that's the loudest shout you can ever shout out of your life. Okay? Let your soul shout. Let your soul shout. God bless you guys. Giddy up.